Hello and welcome, fellow bookworms and film fans. Welcome to this week's episode of The Contented Narrative. Now we will be looking at The House in the Cerulean Sea. I think I've said that right for the first time. By T.J.Klune. And this book was just, oh my god, it was beautiful. Like, genuinely beautiful. And I know I've mentioned a few times in a few videos that I've read books based off of this Facebook group that I'm a part of. This is one of them, and I bought it, and I wasn't expecting much, but it follows this caseworker called Linus Barker. He's 40 years old, he lives in a tiny house, he works in a dead-end job, and his job is basically to go out and assess orphanages to see if they're treating these children correctly. Now, the twist here is that it's not a huge twist, you find out pretty much straight away. The twist is that the orphanages are not for normal children, they're for children with special abilities. And he then, because he's really good with the children, but he doesn't make it personal, he keeps it professional, he doesn't bow to bribes or pressure, and he's always, he does his job, he fills in the paperwork, he's a model employee basically. They send him on this really peculiar case, which is this lovely house here in a Cerulean Sea. And when he goes over to this orphanage and he realizes that one of the children is the Antichrist. Oh yes, one is a wyvern. You've got sprites, you've got gnomes, it's so much fun. And he tries to keep his impartiality when he's trying to adjust and have a look at this orphanage, but then he sort of sees things that, like, the town that's being paid for silence is being ridiculously rude, so the kids don't go to the town because the town is basically bigots towards them and treating them rudely. And he slowly but surely kind of starts sort of making friends, and it's just such a beautiful story because you think it's a story about the children, but I didn't read it like that. I thought the children were an afterthought. It's a story about Linus. And he was, I loved his character. I did. And honestly, this author, he's got another one, they've got another one, Under the Whispering Door, which is on my list to read. And I would definitely give that one a go as well. But this story was just beautifully told. It was done really well and really, like, artfully, and it wasn't, in your face kind of, oh, you shouldn't, like, sometimes you can read books that become a little bit preachy, being like, you should accept everyone, and you should accept everyone. I'm not saying you shouldn't. What I'm saying is sometimes you're reading something and because it's very preachy, you lose the story. You just look at what they're, forcing down your throat and you go, no, I'm good. This one didn't feel like this, and as I said, the story felt more like about Linus than it did about the children and the orphanage and all of that, and I loved it and I could not put it down. It gets a 5 out of 5 from me. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I would 100% read it again. And I would recommend this book to anybody. You can buy it, you can borrow it from the library, you can get it on the Kindle. If you do enjoy this book, please leave it below in the comments, let me know what you think. Remember to click subscribe so you're alerted when a new video comes out. Thank you so much to those that are constantly supporting me, that are constantly watching my videos. Shout out to my dad as well. He's been buying a ton of bookmarks from me. I have been selling bookmarks to other people as well, but it's really nice to know that sort of the bookmarks are still selling as they were. They're a pound a bookmark now, and I'll send them out to you. Just send me a message, and also shout out to all my friends that are constantly putting up with me, being like, oh, have you read this book, and have you read this book? So thank you so much to all my friends, all my family, all my supporters. Remember to always keep it contento.